Okay, so a couple things about that song. The main chorus of that song I actually put in the video where I was demonstrating this guitar like 3-4 years ago. And I was like going through the specs of it, and I played like an improv at the end, and I ended with I pretty much just saved that for like years. I was like, this has to be a Dahlia song. I can't use this for anything else. So that was pretty cool that ended up in a song. And this tune has a lot of riffs. Most of the riffs in this song I start on upstroke, which might not be obvious to people, but that just makes everything easier to me. Like literally every riff in the song I start on upstroke. It feels very odd for me to not start on the upstroke doing that stuff. Or like the higher harmonies. Because when I'm doing like a lot of switching strings every other note, like a lot of, I feel more confident doing that from the outside to the strings, like upstroking the higher string and downstroking the lower string, rather than getting like stuck between them, trying to downstroke the B string and upstroke the G string like repeatedly really quickly. Which it's everybody's different. So some people it'll be like, oh, this is way easier to start on a downstroke, and some people the opposite. So that's something to be conscious of with your guitar playing. Like if something seems not feasible for you to do, just try switching it up, finding something that's more comfortable for you. Any questions? Yeah.
So, I feel like every YouTube person ever tells you to keep close hands and trying to pick faster. Is there a reason I feel like it's open hand?
Well, by the time I realized that not everybody did that, it was too late to go back. But I find having an open hand gives me a lot of control over my muting, because I have like this whole part of my hand open to hold against the strings rather than being closed fist and kind of having like your knuckles in the way.
Do you really do that like ball stand as well, where you kind of use your elbow a little bit, or is it just all good?
I think it's mostly wrist that I use, and I also, I'll use my thumb to kind of like hop over the strings. Like I will use this muscle to sort of rotate the pick or pull it out of the way, but mostly it's like wrist. A lot of it's actually because of like an open palm position, it gives you a downward kick slant. So like an upward kick slant would be like if your pick was facing behind you, and the other way would be like the opposite. So for like sweeping, you kind of need a downward headstand. And then if you sweep the other way, you need an upwards headstand. So when you have your fingers spanned, you're in like a downward position by default. So it feels kind of awkward to have to rotate your wrist the other way. So I started out with outside picking, which is what I'm talking about with downstroking the lower strings and upstroking the higher strings. But you can't do everything like that. So I also practice a lot of exercises to get better at the other style as well. And yeah, the people who play with a closed fist are usually, I'd say, better at alternate picking. And then people who play with a downward slant are usually like economy pickers. A lot of like sweeping. Like I'll do a lot of pentatonic scale stuff by kind of cheating with like a 2-string sweep. Where it's like that's kind of a pattern that I'm using where I'm downstroking, doing a hammer on, and upstroking, doing a hammer on.
Kannst du weitermachen?
Yes, I'm like
das ist eine
cascading
Bewegung,
now.
das hast du nicht da.
So I'm going like down, hammer, up.